What spell were you under while working on this album? What spell were you under while?
What spell?
Yeah.
I don't know. What sort of spell were we under?
Because I read an interview and I thought you said, well, while we worked on this album, we were under a spell, under some sort of spell. It all came naturally and.
Yeah. I mean, music is like that. It's kind of falling out of the sky. So you just kind of, if you find your own place, you just eventually, music happens. You know, if you don't try and you just open yourself up and start playing, and you know, just like maybe starting with a blank canvas and just.
And maybe the state that we're in when we are working is we're in a spell of music.
Okay, and how do you work together music-wise? Can you pinpoint it?
Yeah. Well, usually it just starts with one of us having a small idea. We usually don't build it completely on our own until we present it to each other, and then we start building the songs like that, adding other members. But usually it always starts between me and Toby, and it can start from the piano, a little melody on the piano with some chords that Toby's playing, or it can start from a guitar part of mine, and then we build from there. Sometimes a lyric will start or inspire something.
Violin line?
Yeah, on this record the violin was starting a few of the ideas. And
how come?
Inspiring, something to inspire. You know.
No, but I mean now, how come now the violin?
Just by chance, you know, this record we wanted to invite more of the people who play live with us to help create things. And so he just started playing a violin line and inspired some chords and a mood.
And has it changed the way you work if you compare it to the 3 Mile Pilot time?
Oh, well, then it would be very different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
How come? Can you describe what happened? I mean, with the way you worked over then and then.
Well, 3 Mile Pilot was me with another guy primarily writing with another person, Zach, and we.
But I think you
Toby came in towards the end of 3 Mile Pilot, and was helping with other instruments, and then me and him were living together, and we began writing more as between me and Toby.
Can you still recall the first song you did?
The first song.
The first song. That's a good. That's
a Stitch to My Heart.
Maybe Stitch to My Heart on the first record, one of the first songs. Yeah.
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 There was a few, I think, all at once. I think that at that time we had a piano set up, and I played some piano, and one day Paul walked in and was like, "What are you doing in here?" And I was like, "Oh, I have these few ideas," and we just sat down and got drunk and started playing these songs, and that's how it started.
And we just started create all the song. We had 7 songs, you know, all in like 3 weeks, and then we finished up and had the whole record in a month and a half. You know, just really quickly wrote the very first record, and we decided, oh, this is kind of cool. We should just go record them. So we invited one of our friends who plays drums to do some rhythms on a few of the songs, but most of them were a 2-piece. We made the first record, and some people liked it and asked us to do another.
My analogy of the way we write now is that Paul and I together are a shot of whiskey. And then with everyone else we play with, you dump that shot of whiskey in a Coke. But it's still there. The flavor is still there, but it's a bit different.
But has it changed? What has changed through the years, the two of you working together? Can you pinpoint, or is it still the same?
Between us or between us?
No, but I mean, between you. Has it changed, or is it still the same while working on the first song? Or?
Well, it's very different. We have other people involved a little bit. We want to give some people that have played with us some creative control of what they're doing, and have a voice in the way the sound is. But at the same time, I think that we retain a bit of control of the sound that we understand as Black Heart, but also the people who we're working with understand that sound too. So, you know, I think there's a lot of different ways that we write together and work, but yeah.